All right, check, check, check. What's up, everybody? Prophet Lee, YouTube, just fellow traders out there. Um, gonna go over CPRX, GRMX, and VRAY. My three most recent trades. GRMX, I am absolutely in love with this setup. I do not like buying very much, as I've said a lot. But dip buying, huge crashes, and if you watch my last video, is a money setup. You can see this bounce from the 40s all the way to the 80s now in 2 days. Kind of a slow mover, OTC stock. OTCs are not my favorite to trade. Oops. So let me go to 5-minute chart. Yeah, there we go. That's better. So this gives you a better view of what's going on here. This thing crashed from the 140s all the way, made a low of 141. I was buying, you see this, it makes a lower high right here, or a double bottom. It's about a double bottom. Puts in a double bottom right here. I bought it 50 cents. Now, I had no day trades because I'm under the pattern day trader rule, which is fucking the stupidest law rule that ever. I hate this, but whatever. I am going to be out, hopefully, by the summer, if I can grow my account that much. Not if, it's more like when. So, I would have taken these profits right here. That would have been 17 cents on a 50-cent buy. So that's pretty huge. It's over 20%. Anyways, the next morning it crashes. I held through this and then basically sold right into this spike just to get me out. So took some gains there in that little spike. But if I would have had patience, you can see that it just slowly has just inched its way back up. So, yeah. But you can see what a great setup this is. We've seen this in, well, now we've seen GRMX, CMBX, EMMD, I think CAT, CATV, I shouldn't tell you, I can't remember exactly, it was a while ago. Anyway, so that was GRMX. Great thesis, just poorly executed. CPRX. Alright, this one right here, we'll go to a 1-minute chart. Well, let's look at it from the daily chart, first of all. You can see this one's been running up. I've been kind of, you can see it's kind of gets, if we throw a Bollinger Band on it, you can see it kind of gets overextended. And anytime things are overextended, then when you get those high volatility moves, if it moves up really fast, it usually pulls back pretty hard. So we will, let's see, add study, quick study, add study, all studies, there we go. I don't really use, so you see it get overextended here on this candle. You got a huge candle here and it gets overextended the next day. So that was kind of a short opportunity for me. And then let me delete this study. There we go. Yes, remove the Bollinger Band. Alright, sorry. So now we will go to the 1-minute chart. And you can see it. It spiked up. And I probably would have been shorting in here had I been watching it. When I finally looked at it, it was bouncing right here, and so I got in on this little bounce right here at 207. Got in on this bounce at 207. It crashes, it bounces again, and then when it cracks this support, I'm waiting, and then I hold a little bit longer, and finally when it cracks right here, I cover into this little crack at 188. So that was a solid trade. Didn't nail the top, didn't nail the bottom, but as Tim Sykes says, my mentor, take the meat of the move right there. So that was a nice trade too. Next one is VRAY. This one I was I was on the right track with it, but I was a little bit early with my first trader. I traded a couple times. This one kind of frustrated me at first. Let's see here. So let's see here. It started spiking right here. Now, when it started spiking, you get this hard move. I actually put in an order at 998. A lot of times I try to reserve. I put in my order early whenever I see it, and I kind of almost try to predict the top a little bit, because by the time you wait for it to get up here, there will be no shares to short. So I put my order in 998 because I figured it would get rejected at 10, and the top turned out to be 995. I missed it by 3 cents. So then it crashes. It has a hard crash, a really hard pullback, and I kind of made an emotional decision, and not kind of, I did, and I chased it down. I got in at 951. It kind of comes down, and I realized when it was coming down that I made an emotional decision that I shouldn't have chased it, and I wanted to actually get out down here in the 930s, but I had no day trades left. But I waited till the end of the day to trade it, so I didn't, I had no day trades left, and I had to hold overnight. Overnight, it gaps up. Next morning, I'm watching it. It's consolidating a little bit. It's kind of testing the highs, and then it breaks out. As soon as it breaks out, I sell at, I hit the top on this candle at 1014. So overall, this was a really terrible trade. I got an emotional entry, bad entry. I should have just ignored it here. Second of all, when it's holding its highs right here, I should expect it to break out. And then whenever it does break out, I shouldn't be selling into this spike. I should be selling into one of these two candles where it pulls back a little bit. But nevertheless, I didn't have a huge position. So that was good. I think I had a position of size of I think here around $2,000. So not a huge position. And then it kind of got toppy here, and it started making lower highs. I took my eyes off of it because I was kind of frustrated with it. I took my eyes off of it, but then later in the day, I saw in the chat room that it was crashing. So I pulled up the chart real quick, and right whenever I see it crashing, this is where I did well. This is where I made up for these mistakes. This earlier trade was terrible. When it crashes, it starts to bounce, and when it starts bouncing, now if you look from the high of the crash, 1030, to where it starts bouncing is 990 or 909. So you're looking at like $1.20, $1.30 of downside that it crashed. So I'm expecting a retracement of like 50 to 70 cents. So when this thing bounces from the low nines to 60, that's like 50 cents, and then it starts to put in, and I'm also looking at the whole round number at 949, 950. So a lot of times they have trouble in those areas, in those whole round number areas. They either take off or they get stuffed. So right in here, and it puts in this second candle, this red candle, I hop in at 947. And I doubled my position size. Then I took a $4,000 position as opposed to taking a $2,000 position right here, because I believe that this is the beginning of the end for this stock. I think it's going to be the first red day. I thought that actually this was going to end up being the first red day, or today. I thought today would be the first red day for sure. But when it broke out, but if you look at it from the daily chart, this thing, it had 7 green days, so it was due for a hard pullback, which makes sense. And so here I am again in a trade. If you look at this, this crash, it starts coming down. Now again, once again, we're working towards the end of the day. I don't have any day trades again. but I was sure that this thing was going to keep going down because it was the first red day, so I pulled the trigger on it and it paid off. But what really sucks is I couldn't get out. I had to hold overnight again. So it crashes all day. Granted, my goal was actually to get out and at 870. So I probably would have been getting out somewhere here in the 860s, 870s. So, and the reason why is because if you look at prior support and resistance, you know, right here in the 880s, 870s, I'm thinking that it's going to bounce right there and hold. Hell no, it doesn't hold. It keeps going down, which was awesome. It comes down. I have to hold. It comes all the way down to, you know, even cracks 8, which is amazing. I just couldn't believe the sell-off on this thing. And then it starts bouncing, which I hate, and I'm watching my profits disappear. I have to hold overnight, and then I sell into this first candle right here. I got out at 841. 841. I sold into this morning panic. So it's good to sell into. It's good to cover into weakness. It's good to short into strength. So I got a great entry. I got a good exit. And overall, I'm very happy with this trade. I made up the money that I lost and then some. So yeah, so that's that. Those are my 3 trades over the past couple of days. Anyways, hope everybody else is doing well in the penny stock community, and that's it.